September in Montreal. The night is dark and soft. The snow is gently dancing on my face. Just close your eyes a while. Let snowflakes from the sky and touch and kiss your mouth and smile. 'Cause you are my mind. That's where I am now. My mind was cool and calm. Yes, you are my mind. My heart is seeing clear again. Yes, you are my quiet strength. My happiness is you, and I am smiling for you.
Ambassador September in Montreal was a very nice experience to listen to that song through the Raidho D1s. The overall presentation that you got was one of relaxed detail, and it's interesting because this is one of those songs in that if the loudspeaker is not to a certain standard, you will get a very confused sort of sonic performance. Instruments will start to fuse together. Picking out exactly where each instrument is might become a little hazy. But with the Raidho D1s, I was really able to appreciate the complexity of that piece of music, that track. So there was no fusing of instruments, everything was super detailed, super in its own space. And again, with this type of music and with a lot of music, I mean, separation is the key to enjoyment and to realism, ultimately. So, I mean, it was just wonderful to hear Anne's voice, just solid, you know, holographically 3D, you know, presented to you in front of you, and then the whole soundstage kind of appearing right beside her in total detail. And this track I like a lot because it has a very good punchy rhythm, and the Raidhos were able to kind of deliver the amount of weight that the track required, which again aids the whole realism and the enjoyment of this track. It just delivered a very cohesive and composed soundstage and overall performance. So it was a treat to hear these playing that song. In conversation with Keith, it was yet another track to really kind of dissect the ability of the Raidho D1's kind of lack of grain in the high frequencies. And this really, you know, paid huge tribute to its ribbon tweeter. And especially with this track because it's piano, and it just reproduced it without any strain, grain, or any other sort of aid that would further fatigue or anything like that. There was no hint of that, and again, that was another standout, aspect of these loudspeakers. And the mid bass driver just blended so well with that ribbon tweeter that it made it 100% coherent sonic reproduction. And like I said, when it comes to piano, that's one of the hardest musical instruments to reproduce. So with the Raidho's really kind of knocking it out of the park in that aspect, says a lot about them and their overall sonic potential and characteristics. And it was interesting because with this piece, especially with piano, there's beautiful decay, and with this loudspeaker you're really able to hear all of that decay and all of the sonic little artifacts that over time die down, and that can lend to insight into where it's the recording room, the recording environment. So you're really able to hear the ambiance of the recording environment with the Raidho D1. So again, that's just another aid to realism. So that was a really fun track to listen to these loudspeakers with. With the track Where Are You, I was able to observe with the Raidho's that one of their very strong virtues was their ability to really portray a very thorough and rich third-dimensional performance. I really like using solo female vocalists for some of my reference tracks to hear on all the equipment that I review, and this track has recently was added to my list, and it's such a great track because you have the solo cello playing, and if you have a really good system, a really good pair of loudspeakers, then you can really almost, feel the cello vibrating. And again, with the Raidho D1s, I was really able to see such a high resolution of that 3D cello materializing in front of me. And equally as a treat was Anne's own beautiful voice coming in and out, and just the naturalness of it all that the Raidho's were able to deliver it stood out to me a lot. And that's the thing with the Raidho's, that they were extremely composed. There was beautiful decay. There's so much detail and decay that it's really, for me, I found that is key into the whole realism and the enjoyment of a musical piece. And the Raidho D1s were able to deliver on that very well. And that this track was an excellent, kind of test bench for that. And again, because there was only two factors in the musical piece going on at once, you really also got to see how the Raidho's would disappear from the sound stage and remove themselves from the whole stereo equation. So you were just left with a life-size cello and a proportionally life-sized female voice to enjoy, and that was nice, because it's the best thing when a loudspeaker removes itself from the equation. That, to me, that's when a system really launches itself into a new category of excellence. So these loudspeakers were really able to do that, and of course it is a bookshelf strength to be able to soundstage really well and also image, but the Raidhos, because they're proprietary drivers and methods of manufacturing and their whole technological approach, it was really able to stand them out from their competition of other bookshelves and other floor-standing loudspeakers alike in their category. So that was really how the Raidhos stood out to me. So that was just fantastic to hear.